Who made you judge over my people? Why pass judgment without my consent?
I'm sorry, my king, forgive me.
Zara was no longer greeted. No one praised her anymore. Children pointed at her and whispered. Women avoided her path. Men looked at her with judgment. She stayed inside the hut. She stopped singing. She stopped smiling. She stopped dreaming. At night, she cried silently, holding her bald head and asking the ancestors why they had abandoned her. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then something unexpected happened. One morning, Zara touched her head absent-mindedly and felt something strange. Something rough. She touched again, tiny strands of hair, she gasped. The next day, there were more. Within weeks, her hair was clearly growing again. The village noticed. Whispers spread like wildfire. How is her hair growing? She was shaved for immorality. She should be bald forever. What Mama Vero did not know was an ancient truth, one that existed even before the curse. In the bald village, when a woman's hair was shaved falsely for immorality, her hair would begin to grow again within weeks. Only a truly guilty woman would remain bald forever. Fear entered Mama Vero's heart. She stopped sleeping well. She avoided people's eyes. She knew the truth was catching up with her. And it did. The king heard everything. Soon, guards arrived. Mama Vero, her daughter, and the women involved were summoned to the palace. The king's anger shook the hall. Then the man who was paid to lie beside Zara was brought forward. He confessed. Mama Vero fell to her knees. The truth was exposed. Zara was cleared. Justice was served. And as Zara prepared to marry the prince, Mama Vero and her daughter worked under the sun, carrying water and firewood for the wedding they tried to stop. As Zara stood in royal cloth, her hair flowing once again. On the wedding day, drums filled the air. Zara stood beside the prince, radiant and calm. As the drums sounded, the procession began. Zara walked gracefully, her head held high, her steps firm and proud. The villagers watched in silence, a mixture of awe and shame in their eyes. When she reached the throne, the prince took her hand. Together, they knelt before the king, who blessed the union and declared that Zara was now the rightful queen, the one destined to lift the curse of baldness. At that moment, something remarkable happened. Women across the village began to notice tiny strands of hair sprouting on their heads. At first, it was only a whisper, but within hours, the growth was undeniable. Baldness, the ancient curse that had haunted them for generations, began to disappear. The people gasped in wonder. Her hair, her innocence. It healed us all, someone whispered. And indeed, the prophecy had been fulfilled. Zara, pure and unbroken, had broken the curse simply by the being herself. Meanwhile, Mama Vero and Vero could only watch in disbelief. Their hands, rough and calloused from labor, trembled as they carried buckets of water and firewood. They wanted to hide, to vanish, but the palace doors were closed, and their tasks demanded their presence. Every time Zara smiled or laughed with the prince, Mama Vero felt a stab of regret that she could not escape. She had tried to destroy Zara. And yet, Zara had risen above it all. The celebration continued late into the evening. Music, laughter, and singing filled the palace and spilled into the village. For the first time in decades, the bald village knew joy. Mothers hugged their daughters and felt the soft hair growing on their heads. Girls ran through the streets, laughing and tossing their hair, discovering a part of themselves that had been denied for generations. Zara, now a queen, did not celebrate alone. She looked upon her people with compassion. She did not hold anger in her heart for those who had wronged her. Instead, she felt pity for those blinded by jealousy and fear. She knew that punishment had already touched them. Mama Vero and Vero had already been humbled, made to serve, and that was part of the justice of the moment. For Mama Vero, this was a bitter lesson learned too late. She had sought to destroy the girl she considered an enemy, only to realize that innocence and truth could not be defeated by lies. For Vero, it was a lesson in humility. She had grown up believing her mother's bitterness was justified. Now she understood the consequences of envy and wrongdoing. Zara never sought revenge. She ruled with wisdom, kindness, and patience. The prince was always at her side, helping her guide the village into a future filled with hope. Together, they taught the people that cruelty and jealousy could destroy, but courage, innocence, and truth could heal even the deepest wounds. Years later, stories of Zara and her long hair became legend. Mothers would tell their daughters about the girl who was hated, who was betrayed, but who rose to save them all. Be like Zara, they would say. Strong, pure, and brave. Even when the world turns against you, truth and goodness will always grow back, just like her hair. And so the Bald Village became a place where women could grow hair, where children could play freely, and where jealousy and hatred were remembered only as lessons of the past. Zara's name lived on, not as a girl who suffered, but as a queen who healed a village, who forgave when she could have hated, and who proved that innocence and truth were stronger than the darkest curses. The prince and Zara ruled for many years. Together, they guided the village through joy and prosperity. The people never forgot how one girl's courage and purity had broken a curse that had lasted for generations. And Mama Vero and Vero? They learned the hardest lesson of all. Envy destroys not only the one it targets, but also the one who harbors it. Zara stood on the palace balcony one evening, watching the sun set over the village. Her hair flowed in the wind, her heart full of peace. She had been hated, betrayed, and wronged, but she had also triumphed. She had survived, she had saved the village, and she had become the queen she was always meant to be. And for the first time in the village's long history, there was no curse left to fear. The village was free, and Zara, the girl who had been hated for her long hair, had finally found her place, shining brighter than anyone could have imagined.